Hey, I got some pretty cool tips for you today. If you are ever like so stressed out that you can't think straight, this will help you. You find that you have a little bit of like rage or anger management stuff you got to kind of work out, this will help you. If you find that you're like kind of so scatterbrained that you have a hard time focusing on some stuff, this will help you. If you ever find yourself like where you're having like some sort of emotional overload, super like scared, stressed, worried, concerned, like anxious about something, and your emotions are kind of getting the better of you and taking control, and you need to kind of like reel it in and maintain composure a little bit, this will definitely help you. Stick around. What's up, warriors? This is Kyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training, here to share with you some warrior skills and drills that anyone can learn and everyone should know. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. If you already follow us on social media, and that's how you find your way over to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button and the little part where it says all notifications, so YouTube will let you know when the next video drops, and you get all sorts of cool content from here as well. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about meditation today. So this falls under like the 5th element of 5 Elements Tactical, and that 5th element is the warrior mindset. And usually when I'm talking to my students, whether it's in martial arts, firearms training, tactics, or whatever, and we talk about the warrior mindset, I think they always think of like Rambo or like Braveheart, Mel Gibson running with the sword and the blue paint on his face and warrior, and that's part of the warrior mindset. But the other part of it is the calm, the focus, the control, the restraint. In martial arts, I don't know who gets credit for this phrase, but if your hand goes forth, withhold your temper. If your temper goes forth, withhold your hand. And it means if you're getting so mad you want to start swinging, don't start swinging. And if you're ever forced to start swinging, don't get mad, because that's kind of where you lose your game plan. I'll show you how I do it, how I learned it, how I practice it, how I teach it. So let's get after it. Start from a kneeling position. I cross my feet a little bit. I broke my foot one time, so I got to put my foot, I put my right foot on top of my left foot, and I just kind of sit back on my feet. At the very least, you should kind of have your toes together, or I learned it as right big toe over left big toe, and then sit back. If that's uncomfortable, you could sit, Indian style. Are you still allowed to call it Indian style? Crisscross applesauce. You could do this in a chair. I do it sometimes laying down, like if I'm in bed and my mind is just racing. Again, I have a lot of jobs, and my day is so pedal to the metal all day long that at night I go home and I'm exhausted, man, and I've been dreaming about my bed and my pillow all day long. I finally get there and I think I'm just going to like knock out, which does happen sometimes, but oftentimes I wind up just like my mind is racing. I'm like, of all times, you got to start racing now. And I'll use this to help clear my mind, to help me drift off to sleep. However you're going to sit so that you're comfortable, I'd recommend that way. You start from a kneeling position, put your hands on your lap. We take a deep breath in. The first one, I breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. When I take that deep breath, I want to fill my lungs. And what happens is you kind of straighten out your back. You get your good posture, and you try not to exhale and go back to slouching. You take that deep breath in to straighten your back, bring your shoulders back, and when you exhale, you let your shoulders relax. Not slouch, relax. From this position, I learned it as left hand in the right hand, that your fingers rest on top of your fingers. Your thumbs barely touch, like you could almost like just about hold one piece of paper in there. So you have fingers on fingers, thumbs barely touch. You rest your hands in your lap with your back straight, your head up, and your eyes are not closed but lowered. So I'm looking as low to the ground as I can with relaxed eyes that are still open but looking down without dropping my head. So deep breath in. In the dojo, I'll say MOKUSO, M-O-K-U-S-O, MOKUSO is the word for meditate. And in the dojo, we do it for a minute, maybe 2-3 minutes, depending on the experience level of the class. I feel like you should do it for at least 5 or 10. In the monastery, we would do it for an hour. An hour is a long time. And we did it twice a day, once at dawn, once at dusk. But man, It does something magical. I don't know how to describe it. It really just clears your head and helps you focus on all the tasks at hand. Makes you really appreciate and be present in whatever it is that you're doing. So we breathe in and out. MOKUSO. Now, left on top of right, left fingers and the right fingers. Does that really matter? I don't know. Again, that's how I learned it, so that's how I'm teaching it. Thumbs barely touch. Hands rest in your lap. Back straight, head up, eyes down. The way that you prevent yourself from salivating and swallowing, because the other thing is you're trying to make your whole body be as still as you can. Again, this is how I learned it. So when you close your mouth, you put your tongue against the back of your top teeth. Keeping your lips closed, you swallow, which creates like a vacuum inside your mouth, which makes you not salivate. Make sense? So, left on top of right, thumbs barely touch, hands in your lap, back straight, head up, eyes down, mouth closed, tongue against the back of your top teeth, mouth closed, swallow. From this point, we don't move, we be still. So, with the back straight, the head up and the eyes down, mouth closed, I breathe in and out through my nose. When I breathe in and out through my nose, I'm not trying to breathe into my chest. This type of breathing, you're trying to belly breathe. In martial arts or Japanese, it's called your hara, your center, your core, your energy source. And when I breathe in, I'm trying to make my belly come out. When I breathe out, my belly goes in. When I breathe in, my belly goes out. When I breathe out, my belly goes in. Find my position, good posture, head up. Again, eyes are down, not closed. Closed, it's very easy to, especially me. I've been yelled at more than once in the monastery. Wake up! So it was a church. They took all the pews out and just these pillows that you sit on throughout in the Zen Do, the place where you go for meditation. And there's two monks on the end. They look like they're sleeping. They don't look like they're paying attention. It's so weird, and man, they see you like nod off, and you just hear, and it echoes. Imagine a church, somebody yelling, wake up! And like, now everybody's awake. And one time, this gets very uncomfortable after a while, especially half hour in, and I start moving around. I'm like, oh, I can't take it here. Be still! And I'm like, what do I do, man? So, the better you get at this, the better you get at just kind of like getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, which is part of the process, which is really why it helps so many other parts of training. So, the riddle, the puzzle, the challenge. It was explained to me that if you look at the ocean, you might look at a lake that's really, really calm and it almost looks like glass, right? Now, an ocean, in a storm, big waves. On the calmest day with zero wind, there's always little ripples, and that's going to be like the noise in your head. We try to take it from like a damn hurricane and bring it down to like the little ripples. So the way we use this to focus and use our focus, like in the dojo I say, focus is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So you breathe in, you breathe out, and all you think about is the breath. That's it. If you have another thought enter your mind, which is pretty much inevitable, obviously, you see the thought, you just kind of let it go, remind yourself like, hey, focus on the breathing, and then you go back to thinking about the breathing. The challenge I was given 25-ish years ago, is it that long? Maybe less, 20-ish years, something like that. Breathe in, breathe out. If that's all you think about was your breath, that's 1. So you breathe in, breathe out, 1. Breathe in, breathe out, 2. Breathe in, breathe out, 3. Breathe in, breathe out, 4. And the goal is to get up to 10, which I have never done. So if you could do it, if you know this challenge and you practice meditation, if you got tips for me, other than taking medicine, I'm working on it, but I've just never done it. So again, let's review. We start from our kneeling position. If this is uncomfortable, you do it from what's called anza or a Indian style crisscross applesauce, whatever you want to call it. Straighten the back with a deep breath. MOKUSO. And the goal is to be as still as you can for as long as you can, without moving, without twitching, without stretching, without going, oh, my legs are bothering me. And little by little, that discomfort trains your comfortability with being uncomfortable. Does that make sense? It hardens you a little bit. It focuses you a little. If you're about to go into class for school or a meeting for work or an important thing where a training class, you're going to go watch a YouTube video and try to learn something out of it. Before you get into this part of it, stop, sit down. Could be in a chair, could be in your bed, whatever. Stop, take a deep breath. Clear your lungs, clear your head. A bunch of deep breaths where you're only focusing on the breathing, trying to be as still as you can. And little by little, you'll find that your focus gets stronger, your ability to learn and retain stuff gets stronger as well. And it's one of these things that it's easy to learn, challenging to master. Some of my favorite places to practice this is beside a campfire or a fireplace, outside in just nature, whether it's at a park or in the woods, camping or hiking or whatever. Just stop, pay attention to your senses, like the sound, breathe, smell the air and all that stuff. In the snow, love it in the snow, especially when the snow's falling. In the rain, not necessarily sitting in the rain, but either under my my shelter, my tarp, on my porch, wherever. Sometimes when I got little kids and the house is just insane and I'm like, I'm gonna snap. I gotta reel it in. Man, I could do this sitting in my car. I could do it sometimes, and this is my own personal challenge. The kids are fighting, the baby's crying, the dog is barking, and it's just absolute insanity in the house. And I remind myself every day how hard I prayed for all of those things. So they are blessings, don't get me wrong. But I try to do this in the middle of that. And if I could block that out and catch my breath and clear my mind, it takes my stress and like aggravation or just like that Calgon take me away. I don't know if anybody remembers that commercial or not. That feeling, and it kind of brings it back down to, I'm okay, all is right. Everything's right as rain. The earth will turn, the sun will rise, and everything's going to be good to go. So if you got questions or advice, the channel's really growing. It's just like exploding all of a sudden, and I loving it. I'm really, really loving it. And the comments and all of your support, it's really incredible. And I think my favorite part, aside from hearing from you guys, is seeing how you guys help one another. That's you know, wherever I teach, that's what I like to see the most, is people helping people. I learn from my students. I love when I could share something and you're better because of it, or something that's useful for you. But when you guys like give me information, and hey, I try to read, I read all of it. I try to get back to it as best as I can, as fast as I can. I knew this would happen. I was told by my coaches that it would be a lot, and just get ready, man. When it pops off, it's gonna be some work. But just be patient with me. I'm trying my best, and at the same time flying by the seat of my pants. Well, if you made it this far and you like what I'm teaching or preaching, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and like this video. If you're loving it, hit the subscribe button. If you gotta have it, make sure you hit the bell notification button and the little part where it says all notifications, so YouTube will let you know when the next video drops. If you're really digging it and you want more, you can find me on all social media platforms at 5 Elements Tactical. That's all I got for now, warriors. So until our paths cross again, pray for the best, prepare for the rest. I'm Kyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training. Thanks for watching.